Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Alright, so just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, Aries, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional, holistic and spiritual counselor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling and mentoring, plus advice to help you with union with self and with your person, and also astrology charts. Right, so let's dive in there and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. Okay, and also let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. So let's go. All right. Okay, so you were coming in with Lovers and you were coming in with the Justice card here. All right. Just want to check something out here. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, Aries. So what I get there for yourself as well as your person here in your reading is building new networks, becoming part of different communities here and social groups is what it's talking about. That's one way in which I can explain these cards. It's coming in as I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted, it's like a passionate endeavour for both you and your person. And coming in with the Justice card, you are coming in here. You are coming in with Venus. Venus is actually in your second house. Okay, here, all right, which talks about material possessions. All right, and now you with the Lovers card, which is why it's not so much that's how you see people here, okay, or how you build relationships here in your reading, because this is coming in as kind of, it's like reconnecting here, but it's reconnecting to a dream that you once had here. Yeah. And what it also talks about there, well, in a way, I don't know if it comes in that way, but for yourself here, Aries, it's coming in as to a dream here, but also reconnecting with self here because of this. Now this is both you and your person, because you're doing things that you love to do, but what a lot of these things are, these passionate endeavors is actually having to do with relationships and building those relationships here. Just want to keep going here in your reading. Yeah, it's definitely coming in with how to build better relationships here, but it comes down to yourself. Now this is both you and your person, and how you actually interact with people here. That's all coming in. You are coming in with Gemini here, and Gemini is about communication here in your reading. All right. So there is that it's coming in as knowing how to talk, to communicate. You are actually coming in with effective communication. This is both you and your person. And you do have Mercury in your fourth house. Your fourth house of your private life here. Yeah. It's coming in as doing things behind the scenes here. Yeah. Of course, this could be about getting closer to your person by building these new relationships here. But I do get here in your reading for both you and your person, you are building relationships, new communities or new networks here, a new circle of friends here. And there's also an element here of reconnecting and maybe even re-establishing here old friendships here. Or what it can talk about there as well, guys, is that associates, people that you know, that could come in as getting to know them better here. Yeah. Here in your reading. Now, of course, this is both you and your person here. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going here, eh? Yeah, it's building better, stronger relationships here with people, is what I'm getting. Here, friends, family here. All right, let me keep going here. Okay, guys. It's also talking about you're more assertive now in the way in which you approach groups or networks here, guys. That's all coming in with the Lovers card. It's coming in as relationships here, guys. Yeah. But we'll dive deep here and let's see. See, it comes in as maybe for your person here, Aries, is that they like to be around people that they know when it comes to having fun here, and maybe even letting their hair down in a sense here. Okay, it's not something your person is so when they do get to know someone here, let me back it up here. So when they do get to know someone, it's not they're going to go out and have fun with that person. What it tells me here in your reading is that they like to know the person first. Okay? All right. Yeah, there's stronger bonds here. Unbreakable bond you may have with certain people. All right. Okay, let's keep going here and let's see what else is happening here. Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay, so you're coming in with Temperance. You were also coming in with the Tower card. And you are also coming in with the Ace of Swords. Obstacles and challenges. Well, what that can kind of talk about straight off the bat for both you and your person is what they've let go of. They've let go of. And this could be people, places and things. And what I mean by let go of here, what they've ended out. So you do have the Lovers card coming in here in your reading. And so what it can talk about there, and I am talking about relationships here, is that some of the relationships from your past, these may be friendships here, okay, even associates, maybe even a social group that both you and your person were a part of, that's been let go of. That's what it talks about here in your reading. Yeah, you do, it is coming in as an obstacle and a challenge here, because for both you and your person, you may have had some kind of social standing in terms of the groups then that you would surround yourself by. Okay. Now let me keep going with these two cards here. So you're coming in with Temperance. Okay. Now Temperance is Jupiter, and Jupiter is also in your 4th house of your private life here. So let me just keep going with that here in your reading. Well, yeah, of course, for yourself and maybe even your person here. It's coming in as what's going on behind the scenes here. Now, I just need to check something out here, guys. Yeah, it's exactly what I was talking about in terms of reconnecting, re-establishing here. All right, relationships, friends, past friends, maybe even an intimate partner. There's this Lovers card and the Justice card could be coming in as for both you and your person finally making a, well, I want to say a choice here, of course, but what it talks about also is why you're making the choice here. All right. And it does come in as, well, when you're coming in with Justice here, it talks about learning from past relationships here and knowing why you're making a certain choice is what it's talking about here in your reading. May have been for both you and your person, when you're coming in with the Justice card, may have been a little bit indecisive as to why you, or a little bit indecisive to make the choice. But what these cards are saying here is that you know why you're making the choice here in your reading. Now with the Tower card coming in, the Tower card is both Aries and Scorpio, okay? Now Mars is still in Leo. It's actually on the cusp at this time, which is a really good connection for yourself here when with Mars and Leo being a fire sign here. And so what I'm picking up there in your reading is coming in as there are big changes that are happening here. And this is something you and your person are keeping quite close to yourself here. You're not sharing that. I was going to say that here, especially coming in with the Justice card here in your reading. You're not sharing what's going on. So what I'm picking up here, okay, for both you and your person here, Aries, is that you're ending out past relationships. You know why you're ending those past relationships out here, but at the same time you're still building relationships. So you're not, for you and your person, you're not falling into that lull of negativity here of I can't do anything with myself. What I get here is that there are some challenging times and obstacles that both you and your person are facing at this time here. but you're both not stopping. You're still moving. You're still moving forward here. It is coming in as there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But in saying that here, Aries, for both you and your person, you could actually still be in the tunnel here. See, the Ace of Swords does talk about clarity. It does talk about thinking here. I do get intellect here. All right, guys, there is an element here of a higher level of thinking coming in here. I just get here re-establishing yourself and almost like re-establishing your roots. Here, guys, becoming grounded here. It does talk about, with the Tower card, leaving a foundation here and creating a new one here in your reading. Now, with the Tower card and the Ace of Swords, what it talks about there in your reading is that you know what's going to happen. Here, you also know that you can't change it, because the Tower is bigger than ourselves here. And so what it can talk about there in your reading is that you already know, this is both you and your person, that it's actually going to filter out into other parts of your life. That's what it's saying. Yeah. That Ace of Swords is really important here in your reading. It does talk about how your patterns of thinking and how those patterns of thinking are changing. Here, guys, it could come in as, I have been using the word divergence here, where you're coming away from a past here, okay, guys? And what it can talk about there is that the gap gets bigger here. The reasons why you come away from the past here in your reading can talk about a past program as well, and an outdated belief system when you're coming in with the Tower. It is coming in as a choice here, guys, but it's talking about here in your reading why you make the choice, and the choice is coming in as here. It's, I want to say comfortable. It's got that kind of feel to it. It's about, well, where do I feel safe? Where do I feel like I'm at home, where I'm not walking on eggshells, where I actually feel comfortable, where I actually feel like I fit in here. That's what it's talking about here in your reading, which is why you're coming in with the choice that you are making. This is both you and your person. All right, guys. Okay, let's get going here, eh? Because it is about that here in your reading. Okay, why you're making the choice, that's what I'm picking up here, guys. It's also about your health and your well-being. This is both you and your person here. Your body, your mind, and also your spirit here. Your emotions. All right, let's choose 3 more cards here. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're coming in with the 10 of Wands. You have the 7 of Swords, and you also have the 9 of Wands here. And so what I get there in your reading, potentially here, for both you and your person, it's talking about inner courage and inner strength here to keep pushing through. I normally see it as endurance. It comes in as endurance and stamina. There's another word that I used here, guys. It's like diligent here, where once you make this decision here in your reading, because you do have the Ace of Swords here, you have to keep moving, even though you're coming in with the Seven of Swords here, because what the Seven of Swords is talking about here in your reading is that you truly want to do it. This is both you and your person here. See, what it also talks about here in your reading, Aries, is that for both you and your person, you have your own thing going on here, okay? You've got, your person's got their life, you've got your life here, okay? And it's coming in as for the both of you, is what I'm picking up, is that you both kind of give each other that push to keep going, to keep doing the things that you love to do. Here, coming in the way that you are. Yeah, you are coming in with a lot of wands on the board here, potentially here in your reading. Yeah. This Seven of Swords, what it talks about there is, this is what I truly want. Even though I've got all of this that I need to be doing, need to be sorting here. Okay, for both you and your person, this is what I'm wanting. And this is what I want to do here. It means a lot to both you and your person. That's what I'm getting. Okay? And what it also talks about here in your reading is, what it can talk about there is being away from each other here. Potentially here in your reading. It comes in as, so you have things to do. Your person has things to do. But but deep down inside, you just want to do things together here. Okay? But here in your reading, it's about reconnecting and re-establishing yourself here. That's what it talks about. I'm not saying that you're not important, and I'm not saying your person's not important here, but what it can talk about there in your reading is, don't forget how important and relevant you are. Okay, let's choose a card. Let's see what the advice is. Okay, so you're coming in with the High Priestess here. All right. Now, so, yeah, you're coming in with the High Priestess here in your reading. And the High Priestess is ruled by the moon. And the moon is, well, moving into Sagittarius. So what it talks about there is, when you're coming in with the High Priestess here, Aries, you've got to trust yourself that you know what's best for you. Okay? Letting go, like I said, letting go of things that, I want to say, how held you back. Here, that it's normally said that serve no purpose anymore. All right, and you're coming in with an outdated belief system. All right, it's about learning to trust here when you're coming in with the High Priestess. All right. It talks about here is, what I'm getting here is that for your person here, they know what they need to do. They're quite clear on what needs to happen here. But even for yourself, Aries, you know, once again, like I said, I do get here in your reading, a lot of things are being illuminated to you at this time. People, situations and things, yeah. And using your discernment here by asking yourself and trusting in yourself here what you are going to do. that's what it talks about. All right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. Look, if you want to know more, just book an image reading, tarot reading with me. If you want to know the difference between the two, the information is in the description box below this video. Okay, or check out the New Earth Community website. The link is below as well. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your reading, Aries, and I'll catch you later. Bye.